Hey guys, this is Tina. Second video of me talking on YouTube to you guys. I always get so nervous. It's so funny talking to people or being on video or something. It's like, I'm sure the more I practice this, the easier it gets. Um, but I want to do it anyway, so I'm here. This video is about the BP oil spill. It's obviously a subject that most of us have heard about in some context very extensively already. It happened, or it began rather, about 2 months ago now, and it's still going on. I don't watch the news. I haven't watched TV in a really long time, kind of on personal principles, but I do use my own sources for getting information, various independent journalists and research, and also the BBC, different newscasts from time to time, but I try to absorb and get my own, take on things as much as I can. So anyway, the issue's been going on, and I'm sure you've all heard about it in some context. I'm curious, actually, what everybody else is hearing and feeling about the topic. I hope to hear some comments back, actually, and to kind of get vibes back on that subject. But anyway, so first of all, I want to say this video and me talking right now is not about blaming. It's not about trying to perpetuate or shoot out fear of any kind. I think that doing that makes things rather ineffective in general. What I'm trying to do is assist myself and anybody that finds videos like these useful in getting informed and kind of trying to activate on the truths in your lives and empowering others to do the same. The present time is ours, and the future is what we make it. So I kind of think it's cool to share information. So that's all we're doing here. Okay, so 2 months ago, oil spill started, and it's still going on. There's like an estimated 20,000 barrels. I'm reading off of a piece of paper for my own notes here. It's like 20,000 barrels per day that are still coming from the site, bottom of the ocean, into the Gulf of Mexico. BP is currently trying to deploy a containment device and is also constructing 2 relief wells that are estimated to be in action by mid-August. In the event of the failure for the containment device to work, or perhaps regardless of this, I'm not really sure about this containment device. I've not found much data on it. But if the relief wells are our solution for the issue, and they're going to be completed in mid-August, that leaves us with 74 or 75 more days of oil spilling at the rate of 20,000 barrels per day into the Gulf of Mexico. That totals to 60 million gallons, and that's in addition to the 34 million gallons that were already spilled. And these data I'm getting from an article from a Zeitgeist author. I'm putting the link in the information section for this video for you to check out. Obviously, this oil is ill. It's immediately harmful and toxic to marine life that comes into contact with it. I'm putting a link in the information section also by a YouTuber called Green Power Science, who kind of demonstrates and explains the issue of oil being in the water on marine life. It's kind of an obvious thing. The organisms are unable to clear the substance from their skin or their respiratory organs, and so things die. That's an immediate kind of obvious effect. Like I said, wildlife drown in it, they are poisoned, all this kind of thing. This is, just on the visible level. The molecular and microscopic marine life level is a whole other dimension that's very real, but it's a lot to go into, and obviously I can't begin to explain all of it, but the issue is profound. Okay, but something that really has struck me as something beyond the obvious issue of the oil spilling for us to pay attention to are the dispersants that are being used to clear up the spill also. Again, from the Zeitgeist article that I was mentioning and a few others, there's roughly 1 million gallons of dispersant that have been used on the oil spill so far. And among these dispersants are compounds Corexit 9580 and C130. Green Power Science, that YouTuber I mentioned, whose link is in the information section of the video, goes into what these dispersants serve to do a little bit more, like in a visual way. But essentially, the dispersants are either on the surface of the water or on surfaces, for instance, where the oil has washed onto shore. It causes the oil to kind of attach to itself on a molecular level and be movable from surfaces of other things, and often, as what's true on the surface of the Gulf right now, it causes the molecules to sink to the bottom of the ocean, and or at least below the surface. The topic is really hazy from what I'm seeing, honestly, which is another concerning thing. But anyway, the dispersants are being used, and in a way, hey, hooray, that's great. But for instance, okay, so we're dispersing the oil, and it's going down to the bottom of the ocean, or it's being displaced, it's being collected by vessels, put somewhere. We're still left with all of the molecules in existence somewhere on our planet, and they're going somewhere. And oil itself, we've outlined as being toxic. The dispersants are toxic. They're toxic not only to human beings. You see people with the respiratory masks and full body suits and all of this kind of thing. When using the dispersants, it kind of makes sense to that it's toxic to marine life as well. Shellfish, larval fish, bacteria, phytoplankton, anything you can think of. And really the scope of this issue, the scope of the effect of the oil and of the dispersants in particular on the entire marine ecosystem of the Gulf of Mexico is really poorly understood, and from what I'm hearing is not being really discussed or entertained by the people making decisions on how to deal with the spill. I'm not trying to say that we should, spend all eternity in debate before making a decision to act on this issue, but I would like to know for sure that members of the EPA, for instance, and people that are educated on these chemicals and their effects on marine life are being actively involved in the decision and deployment activities in this spill. So anyway, I've run my mouth a lot here, but what I'm really hoping is that this video and the links that I'm putting here are in some way useful to you guys. It can give you a few more places to look up information and decide for yourself what seems right, what seems wrong. Not that it's about right or wrong, but what seems better, what seems smarter, or what seems more stupid, or whatever, concerning this issue, how we can kind of encourage our representatives in Congress, within our states, within the world we live in, to make the best possible decisions on how to deal with this issue, and sure, help the people, help the economy, all of that, but remember also that we live on one planet that everybody shares, and the problems that are being created in the Gulf of Mexico affect every single person on this planet, and dispersants that are deployed on the ocean can very easily and naturally will be evaporating into the atmosphere that we all breathe and rain comes from. So again, this is not about trying to put blame or fear out there, but this is about trying to encourage people, including myself, to get as informed as we can on what's going on with this spill and just with everything else out there, so we can try to make the best decisions we can, because every time we help ourselves, we're helping someone else, and vice versa. It's a cycle that we're responsible for, and we're blessed within. So I hope that you guys have a great day, and thanks for listening. I hope that this is useful.